Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for the brand new video, and I don't know when you're going to watch today's video because by the time it gets uploaded it's going to be post midnight. It is midweek. This might be Thursday morning, or you might just be staying up because you can't let go of what we just witnessed. Is not only did we see a fantastic result, a fantastic performance, 6 goals scored and a clean sheet, but we pretty much got every little thing we writ on our Christmas list, and Santa went ahead and delivered early. And you know, it's hard for me to go ahead and start with that, you know what I mean? Because almost everything positive from this game of performance is something a lot of us been hoping and praying for. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh look, they finally played the team that I wanted, or anything like that's no what I'm about, and I usually get more things wrong than I do get right. That's just what part and parcel is it being a fan. But I sit and look at, I take a step back and I look at this game and I saw the optics of how we went ahead and played and lined up, the personnel we saw, the shape we saw, the strikers we saw, and I sit back and say, by goodness gracious, great balls of fire, that is what every single Rangers fan has been waiting on and crying out for, not only just this season but last season and the season before. Because in this game of football versus a side that will park the parkiest bus you've ever seen, we started with 2 strikers on the park, occupying defenders, creating space and not allowing them to crowd out a solo striker that plays to their strength and they can just deal with easy headers. Right, 2 strikers on the park. We were playing our most creative player in the name of Hagi, who spent the majority of the season playing his Nintendo 64 Mario, waiting for an opportunity to play this club, whilst we faffed around and played favourites and duffers in his preferred position. We're actually playing our most creative player. We tweaked the engine room as well. Instead of having 2 holding midfielders and sitting back and not allowing that attacking freedom, we played with just 1 back there at him versus the part the bus side, and we absolutely roasted a Kilmarnock side that not only beat us just a couple weeks ago, but a side that has caused us nightmares time and time again, as we absolutely ripped the soul for them, and everything that unfolded was just like a weird fever dream. And I don't know if I'm sitting here like a slightly greyer version of Cobb for Inception when he runs off and sees his wee mad wains at the end, but if this is a dream and we didn't play with 2 strikers, we didn't play with only 1 holding midfielder, and we haven't released our most creative player, please God don't wake me up, because truly this is where I want to be. And I'm going to start with our boy Hagi, right? Because again, supporting Hagi over his football club over the last 2 years, not just me, there's plenty others, a lot of others actually, just scroll down at the comments, it's been tough because you've been told he's done, he was never good, he was overhyped, it's just a name, etc, 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 and it certainly looked like he was going to creep out the back door despite the stuff that was linked here or there, and some people still didn't take to this laddie, you know what I mean? Everybody says didn't trust the papers or didn't listen to what clickbait articles say, but then as soon as something comes up and an agent says this or the newspaper twists this story, we start to believe it and we start to turn on players. So do we trust newspapers? Do we trust clickbait articles linking with players with exit, or do we trust what the players are saying? And Hagi's been out there time and time again, Instagram story after Instagram story. He didn't go in a huff, he didn't play himself looking out the door, protecting himself. He played in the B games, he took his poundings, he continued to work his way, he took less money, he offered to take less money, he's battled away time and time again to where he is now, starting games for his football club. And after all the crap that laddie's had to endure, watching his shirt number get ripped off his back whilst he's still at the club, he still took all of his poundings and then fought his way back to where he has now had 2 assists in today's game. And if you actually look at it, ladies and gentlemen, that is 3 assists in his last 2 matches for his football club. And if you take a step back and look at it, it's 4 assists in his last 4 appearances in all competitions. Now granted, he does have a red card in there because he certainly plays with his heart and soul, but you're talking about a team that's been emotionless, robotic, lethargic, sluggish, and looked like beatdown with 0 creativity. We went and pulled this guy through the shadow realm, put him right in to the mixer, even necessarily getting played out of position like he was the day, as he was mostly off the left. But good players will find space and find opportunity to create if they are creative, and that's what Hagi's shown. And god damn, I'm proud of the laddie. Love the laddies here. I love that he's saying in press conferences, why did you take all that crap and why did you stay here? And he replied, because he loves this club. That's what I want for the team. I didn't want money merchants. I didn't want guys coming up for the championship that didn't care or here there to boost their profile. I want guys that want to be here, and I watch that lad in the way he applies himself in the games, and I see a player that wants to be here, and he deserves every bit of success and plaudits he's going to get right now. I'll tell you something right now, if he goes ahead and gets an assist in his next couple games, especially a certain cup final, Oscar Cortez needs to go ahead and do the right thing and hand his number 7 back, because he's playing like a number 7, if you will. And shout out to our boy Hagi, an absolute ridiculous first assist and a smart little assist for his second goal. But that first one, man, talk about breaking the seal in a tough game and giving your team the opportunity. He done it last week to win us all 3 points, and he's done it here to set us on our way. So sorry if this is more than a minute or two, like I try and keep it pretty narrow, but damn, I'm happy for Hagi, and long may it continue, because if he's going to play at this level, he is head and shoulders but everyone else creativity wise, and I think he's shown that if you look at the numbers and how poor we've been compared to when he's been in our team. Hibs, St Johnstone, Kilmarnock. And a genuine argument could be made for the 1-1 draw versus Dundee United. It was his back heel coming on from the park needing to rescue that game as well that got us at least something. Wasn't it a great win? So I'm not going to go too much details, but he was directly involved in another goal. So I don't know if people are still turning their back on Hagi because what their agent said in that to papers. We didn't like papers unless we want to use it to annoy ourselves. I'm proud. Yeah, I'm long may it continue. For me, I thought he was absolutely spectacular in this game, and where I gave Big John Suter the man of the match last week over him who won the official man of the match, I'm giving him today. Spoiler, I thought he was magnificent. Another year I'm absolutely delighted for in a different type of way, in a different type of mindset, is even the likes of Tavernier in this game, who grabbed a fantastic opening goal and went ahead and grabbed an assist later on in the game of football as well. Probably should have ended up with a couple more. Now, I'm not going to take back everything that's happened. We know where we are. We know where we need to go. But when he is playing, he gets fully all our support. And I thought he was very good today as well. Brilliant finish and a couple assists to boot as well. It was positive today, and I genuinely feel like the switch and the thing that we've been talking about, not only on this channel, but everywhere, every pub, every supporters bus, every single Rangers fan that's ever sat beside another Rangers fan has talked about playing 2 strikers on the park, occupying space, and just the havoc that can create with overloading. And that's what we've been seeing, and it was just brilliant to see. And that all goes to the 2 strikers as well. Before we get to the game recap, Igamane and Danilo. Danilo's barely had a sniff this season, and he's still a wee bit raw. He's got a wee bit the old Nacho in him where he does snatch at some chances, but he got the goal today and I was delighted for him. But you've got to think him and Igamane's time on the park, they've had what, barely anything. Try and count it. Before this game, how many minutes have they played together? Maybe 10 minutes max. So the way they were linking up and the way they were playing was showing great maturity and just a togetherness as well. And it was exciting to see their wee interchanging passing, the way they would move. One would go here, one would go there. That is something that we should have been doing months ago and building our way up. Absolutely. And it is frustrating. We kept with our tunnel vision trying to play managers' favourites. But I think maybe he's starting to realise now, oh wait, there's a CEO coming in who's got a wee bit of a reputation for being a bit ruthless when it comes to staff. I've not got just pals act here that's want to protect me. There's a CEO coming in. I better start getting out in my own heat and start doing what's needing to be done, because what I thought would work clearly wasn't it, and that's shown that, because again, up to the St Johnstone game of football, it was the lowest points we've ever recorded since we came back to the top flight is Scottish football after 12 games, right? There's been a lot of knocks, there's been a lot of noise, but he's actually finally let go of whatever plan he was trying, and he's trying to put this team first now. Maybe, obviously, trying to keep himself on a job after the week or two that's going to be coming up. Absolutely, people can say it is too little too late, but I'm happy he's finally doing it now, and it's encouraging watching them two playing the way they work, and it's no surprise to me watching 2 strikers that are willing to work, put in the hard yards, who are pacey, with a creative player behind them that will score you goals. Score and can create. The hardest job in football is scoring a goal. We've got strikers that work their arse off to do that, and of course now a midfield that can go ahead and pull the trigger. But just the shape and everything was great today. We absolutely demolished them, and it feels like we could have been doing that for a long time, but hey, at least we're doing it now. But I want to get into the game recap because there's more things to talk about and more players to praise, because goes, we've been frustrated enough, we've been annoyed enough, we've moaned enough. Let's just me and you sit the night and have a conversation and talk about some praise and positive things regarding this club, because that's what it was the day. And honestly, it came right for the starting 11, and it's something we've talked about all year long. We just want that boost as fans, but you could feel it, ladies and gentlemen. No matter where you were in the world, when you saw that starting 11, it picked you right up, because it wasn't the same old crap, it wasn't the same old failures. And I would actually argue Kilmarnock looked absolutely shell-shocked and never once adjusted or learned how to deal with a Rangers side that's got multiple strikers on the park at once, because Derek's bread and butter of sitting free there, which is usually two centre backs and maybe a holding midfielder coming and dropping and just sitting with a wee triangle at air, the Rangers striker, he couldn't do it the day, because if he'd done that, there was massive gaps for Igamane to run to, or Danilo to run to, or Hagi to play in Tavernier, or coming down the other side, or even the likes of Cherny, who I thought was excellent as well. Again, it always bred from a positive starting 11. It injected something clearly on the park, as I thought the first 15 minutes was actually the most enjoyable 15 minutes I've seen a Rangers team pre or not prior to European games, obviously, for a long time, as we should have scored about the 6th minute. And no surprise it's Cherny that gets on the ball after a wonderful ball out of him. He beats his man, shows composure, gets the line, pulls it back for Eggman, and Eggman tries a shot that, yeah, he should score away in that, right enough. And people say, oh, well, if it's Dessers, everyone's moaning, and you're probably right on that. But one of them's 30-year-old and one of them's barely kicked the football and still learning his craft, and that's why I think you can be more patient and more encouraged by seeing the laddie get in to the right position, because you see something in him that will inject life. You know what I mean? We've seen Dessers, and I know he scored 2 goals a day. Again, I'm delighted for him, because I didn't ever want to see someone booed out the door and horrendous, right? Because we didn't know what it does up here to play for a club like us, and the pressure, and any of us were good enough to go ahead and do, you know what I mean? Both physically and probably mentally as well, as that's a massive part of the actual game. You didn't want to see people go out and fail, and it is nice to see him score, but I'm not going to be like blinded by the fact that Dessers came on and scored 2 goals. Love that. If he wants to do that to January or the end of the season, that's what he can be. If we're rotating Eggman out, or if we're dropping out Danilo for the game, a couple goals up when there's space to be created, go ahead and do that. Bump our goal difference up. Keep your price tag up. Absolutely love it. But again, I'm not going to get blind with Dessers scored 2 goals a day. Chuck him back in to the starting 11. Now, that battle was already won, because the 2 strikers, including the young laddie who was starting this game by the name of Eggman, won their battles and put the game to bed that just allowed the last 15 minutes to be the massacre it was. But what was great is the miss from Eggman didn't really affect it, because less than 60 seconds later, Cherny again just driving at his man. He is now filling a role that might annoy some people, but what Ryan Kent held in this team. You know what I mean? I know everyone's turning on him, slaving me for a second, but you know when Kent was on it, when he got it, you went, right, what's he going to do with it? Right, there's son, get it. He's an ass off seat type player, if you will. That's the feeling I get now with Cherny. I've not had that for a winger for Rangers since the likes of Ryan Kent, right? So Cherny gets on the ball, he drives one in to Eggman's feet. Eggman sizes his man up, fakes on the left, hits it, and just hits a shot that's just a whisker wide. You're building. Then you have more good play with Eggman and Danilo interchanging. Nice wee beautiful pass that shot is blocked. Genuinely, the only thing that could stop Rangers was Wright going ahead and heading Raskin and causing a wee bit of blood. That was the only bit of breathing space Kilmarnock could get, as well, absolutely feasting and all over him. And that rampantness is what should be happening at Ibrox. And obviously it was good to see both players weren't hurt in the incidents. Raskin ended up getting a wee bandage, but I don't know about you, and obviously it depends what age you go. I don't know if you think right away to Big Purso, or for me I thought to Butcher still away. That's the one I always go to. You can let me know, but there's something about a Rangers player in a bandage who makes me think he's going to have a game. And he did. The wee man was absolutely brilliant, and he showed he isn't a holder, he isn't an out-and-out 10, but he's that balanced, you know what I mean? He is a box-to-box player. That's what we bought, that's what we thought we were buying, and it's only like these types of games you're actually seeing him unleash, you know what I mean? He's no held back to no, be here, and then he's lost because he's not got the defensive instincts. He's gone back and forth, and he ends up getting assists as well. But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, because I do want to give Big Soapy a wee bit of praise as well, because everyone has forgot about this, but there was 2 massive blocks. One of them versus Mally Watkins as he tries to get in behind. Brilliant shot blocked for Soapy. Then he gets up, runs up to the halfway line and wins a brilliant 50-50. And it's no surprise to me with that type of attitude and application, and again ruthlessness on the ball, snapping into challenge. What, 3 minutes after that challenge for Big Soapy, we end up having the ball in the back of net. And the way that it does it, it's just Hagi being Hagi, right? And again, something else that probably annoys somebody, we've not got anybody else that can do that ball. Maybe since Cantwell's left the club, and that's a big can of worms and all that as well. But Clement's made his decision. He certainly wanted certain robots and lifelessness, but he's needing the flair, he's needing the creativity, and Hagi just gets on the ball and plays in a ridiculous ball. But again, I like scoring goals. I like seeing goals scored. That's the big part of the game I've always enjoyed. You have to give Tavernier credit, you know what I mean? What he lacks in defensive instincts and maybe legs these days, he can still sniff out a chance and sniff out a ball. It's an absolute one. I think the run's better than the finish, and the finish is brilliant. You know what I mean? It's a brilliant run. Keeps his cell phone side, looking across his line. We've had centre forwards by the name of like Dessers cost a lot of money that can't do what Tav's done. Sakala couldn't do it. There's been plenty to do it, but Tavernier, again, going forward, he can put the ball in the back of net, and that was a brilliant goal, brilliant run, brilliant ball. And that's the way you start Ibrox and really put under pressure. The only surprise was we didn't infect and really kill this game off in the first half like we did in the second, because we nearly scored the goal of the season as the ball gets fired in to Eggman. I think it's Tavernier that starts off, actually fires a ball into him. Eggman's first touch, Joe Aribo would be blushing. He then plays it first time out to Czerny. He doesn't admire his run, he's not like laboured to the box. He turns on a swivel, plays it to Czerny. Czerny's running at his man. Eggman sprinting in. Czerny plays the ball into the mixer and he tries a wee cheeky back heel flick that nearly catches Robbie McCrory, who does a fantastic save to him. We then had a Hagi free kick as well. There is pressure, there is some moments. We ended up being about 48, 49 minutes. Yaridon. Soapy should score as Eggman flicks a front post header to the back post that ends up blown in the bar. And I believe we are, I don't know if this is like sarcasm or no, but I know we're closing in on 140 corners since August without scoring a goal, but surely we're getting close to some sort of record here. Our set piece is a shambles, and I feel bad for the club there because we should have ended that right. We should have broke our duck, but aye, it comes at Big Soapy. You know what he's like. He's a bit cumbersome sometimes and he blunts it out of the bar, and I can laugh now because we went ahead and scurried him in the second half. If that came back to bite us, I'd probably be a bit more pissed off. By the second half was the second half, and it was enjoyable. And I'm really delighted for the person who put the ball in the back of net, because Danilo had a major opportunity after Raskin picked him up beautifully with a cross. He headers it probably too close to Rabbit, and then in the second half he gets the ball pulled back beautifully to him. I think is it Tavernier that picks him up, or is it Czerny this time? It might actually be Czerny. He pulls it back to him. He should score, ladies and gentlemen, but forces Robbie into a good save. But again, from a Rangers perspective, that needs to be put in the back of net. And you're thinking, oh God, we Nacho, if you will, is going to have a Syria and he's going to be posting his miss on Instagram again. But thankfully, less than 60 seconds after that chance, our pressure, our just bullying them in the middle of the park, wins us the ball back so quickly. The ball then comes to Hagi. Hagi then plays it into Danilo, and at the second time he asking in 60 seconds, the wee man puts the ball into the back of the net, and 9-9 has put the ball into the back of the net. We absolutely love to see it. It was a great moment for him. We saw how he celebrated, and yeah, the floodgates were truly open. And I just look at the way Kilmarnock, again, I've already mentioned this probably, so I'll probably cut this part out, but just the way they looked absolutely lost on how to deal with us. You're talking about a team that's easily the easiest team to scout. You know what I mean? We're the most predictable. We know exactly what we want to do. But in this game, a well-drilled, well-organised manager and a well-drilled, well-organised team looked absolutely lost. And that's refreshing to see. Hope to God we continue to play like that. But aye, before we could really settle ourselves from the second goal, the third goal was put in. Again, we're just nipping. We've got those two strikers on the park. They can't just play a nice wee body bypassers up there and break our slow, cumbersome press from the Dessers and Lawrence that's hurt us all season. They're snapping in, they're winning it. Eggman wins a loose ball after a bit of a, I think it's a poor pass or a poor touch for a Kilmarnock player, but it just takes one touch and just says, you know what, bang, and it's buried into the back net from Rage. A Rangers striker scoring goals from outside the box. What year is it? Well, before we could find out, the ball was in the back of net again. Is Czerny, who I thought was great again, and I'm so glad he scored, because all the talking points are going to be Dessers' 2 goal, Tavernier's goal and assist, Hagi having 2 assists, and I understand him, even the Eggman goal and performance as well. But I'm so delighted for Czerny, because again, for me, he is the lightning rod of this team. He just makes us go, in my personal opinion. And I didn't say that lightly with some of my favourites playing the way that they're currently playing. I look at Chen and I say, yeah, he is the injector. And I love the way that it came down as well as Raskin gets on the ball, winning it back. Ladies and gentlemen, a high press for the Rangers team, winning it, beats a couple men, opens his body up. No, it's a wee bit a slow pass to him, but I don't care. It's an assist as an assist. He gives it to Cherny. Cherny hits it with a left, fits into the back of it, and it's absolutely celebration time as it's 4 goals scored again for this team. And it's no Europe. It's beautiful to actually say. And then the game is obviously done, right? The Egaman comes off, the Danilo comes off, some changes are being made, and to give you a perfect summary of how well and how much I was enjoying this game, I wasn't even frustrated about Egaman coming off for Dessers or Dowell even coming on the part, because not only was the game done, but I understand these players need confidence as well, because you never know when injury strikes, especially at this team, or suspensions or anything can happen at any game, so you can't just focus on year 11. So when games are won and everything like that, and when it's truly beyond bed, bring on others, maybe build them up, because again, you didn't know when you're going to be needing them, and that's what the moments were for Dessers, you know what I mean? He had a chance earlier on that he didn't put away, and then his goal, brilliantly made down the left hand side, wonderful ball down from I think Ridvan to Barami. Barami then pulls it back to Dessers, brilliant goal, brilliant move. He doesn't get to celebrate it, however, as it is offside. But after yet another painfully long VAR check for a goal that looked perfectly onside, just like the other one in the first half as well, by the way, the goal is eventually given. He's given a wee bit of a celebration, and that must feel good. Clearly, as he's put the ball in the back of net a second time, as Tavernier gets the ball down the right, picks him out in the middle, and he tucks it away, and he buries it for his second goal, and he's on. A hat-trick. This is a guy that couldn't buy a goal a couple of weeks ago. The only goal he's scored in his last 8 or 9 games was something that hit off him. It was a Tavernier shot that hit off him, hit the back of net. But again, just that maybe release, that wee bit of space can build confidence up. And again, it's good to see Dessers putting the ball at the back of net. Hopefully that keeps him hungry enough, ticking over for when he is next substituted on. Doesn't mean I want to chuck him right into the starting 11 for the next game. Please, we have found something here. Let's keep it and roll with it, because that's what the fans have been begging for years. We've got a taste here, and it's a 6-0 scudding. Please, sir, can I have some more? Giles get worse than it. It really is. But there were some more chances towards the end of the game, but a 6-0 goal breakdown is probably about the best as we're going to get, and it certainly does feel very nice. I'm very excited. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions down there in the old comment section. But I want to know what stood out to you. I want to know who your man of the match is, and I want to know if your prayers have finally been answered by Phil Clement, who, yeah, may be feeling the Bunsen burner on the old arse cheeks for the impending CEO with the games he's got coming up. But for whatever the reason, he's finally doing it. He's finally doing it now. And the evidence is there. That's by far our best performance in the league since our last 6-0 scudding. But I would actually say that Ross County game does sort of paper over a lot of cracks for that match. This game right here, especially spells of it, was brilliant. Yeah, we missed too many chances. Yeah, Gaman maybe had a couple. Danilo had a couple more. But you know what? These are guys that will get better with more game time, especially Egaman. Let's keep that momentum rocking into the weekend, and let's just keep playing this aggressive way, please, as that's what a Rangers team should be doing to teams at home. Teams coming to Ibrox should be leaving with their scants pulled down and saying, what the hell have we just played? We're it for a short stint under Jerry. Finally wrestled it back. Can we see it again for a longer period? That would be very nice. But aye, ladies and gentlemen, that's your 6-goal thriller right there. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions down there in the old comment section below. And until next time, I've been CJ92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and bye-bye.